Hi, I'm Christian Schoen. I'm the host of Hometown Heroes. Come and join me to get to know our local heroes and find out why they do what they do and what we can learn from them.
Hi, I'm Mary Vail. I'm the philanthropic publicist, and you're watching my story on Hometown Heroes.
Our next honoree is from Las Vegas, Nevada, and if you want Mary Vail to be your publicist, you better be prepared to do some community service. That's how strongly she feels about volunteering. When she first learned about Make a Difference Day, Vail started an annual supermarket food drive that has collected 22.3 tons of food and toiletries for the Salvation Army.
Thank you, Mary, for coming here today and be a guest here on Hometown Heroes.
Well, thank you for having me. It's exciting to be a part of this show, Hometown Heroes. We have a lot of heroes here in Las Vegas, so it's exciting to be a part of it and to be selected.
We invited you here today because we wanted to learn more about where you come from in terms of basically why you are who you are today and what's behind all this great work you're doing here for the city of Las Vegas. And you're also known as the philanthropic publicist of the city. Tell me, have you been living here all your life?
I'm not. I was born and raised in a small town in Texas, Kingsville, Texas. If you've heard of the King Ranch or King Ranch trucks, that's the city that I came from. And I ended up marrying a gentleman who was in the military. And we traveled quite a bit while he was in the service, and then we retired here about 18 years ago.
In regards to family, do you come from a small family or bigger family?
I come from a big family. I was brought up in a very Christian family. 7 children, my mom and my dad. He was a chiropractor in the small town. My dad taught us how to hunt and fish, and that's how we got our food that we sustained on us. So it was very exciting.
So a lot of your current values, they come from your childhood, basically.
From my childhood, and my philanthropic endeavors were stemmed mainly from my father. He was very involved in the city. He was involved with just all different types of programs and reaching out and helping people. And I learned my values and philanthropy from his works. I learned my compassion and my giving a lot from my mother, because obviously she had to raise 7 children while my father was working and doing all of his works in the city. So I think the combination of both my mother and my father helped develop me into the individual that I am.
So when you grew up, they were your role models?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. We were a very close family. We didn't have a lot of money. Our vacations consisted of going camping. So it's not like we traipsed to big cities and stayed in fancy hotels. It was, very, very down-to-earth setting. We weren't, well off. We didn't have fancy clothes or anything like that. We were just, just a typical rural family, in South Texas.
Do you feel it was clear from the beginning what you were going to do later on in life? Not specifically in terms of a job, maybe, but what kind of life you would live?
For me, it was just a way of living life. That my father, he just did those things, and I just automatically followed him. And it was just part of what I was doing. And while I ventured out and thought about other types of careers and went to college and, got a degree in nutrition, and, I didn't realize that the philanthropic background that I had received was going to so much influence what I did, and it has become a major part of who I am and what I do in the community.
She's basically a role model to me. I admire her drive and just everything that she does. I actually get really sad when I can't join her on any of her events that she has, so I try to make it to every event that I can. The two actually that I really enjoy doing is the food drive that she does with the Salvation Army on Make a Difference Day, and then Float Like a Duck, which teaches kids how to swim if they fall into the pool so they don't drown. Those are probably the most fun. She had an incredible impact in my life, actually. She pushed me to do things that maybe at the time I didn't want to do them, but I ended up doing them, and I just made me the person I am today.
So when you look back in time, from childhood and up to current, do you feel it's almost like it was just meant to be?
It was just meant to be. It was just meant to be. And even though we had 7 children in our household, it seemed like we were always, taking in other people as far as, being a part of the family and reaching out to other people.
What does it give you on a personal level? I mean, this kindness and the mindset of giving back.
I can share the excitement of being able to help somebody else and pass that along to my clients or to other people who've never had that experience. Part of my business philosophy is that any client that I take on to help them with PR or marketing, they must give back to the community. Many of them already have small projects that they're involved with, but I help them really develop something that they become very intimate with and that they become so involved in that it's a major part of their business or their activities or their livelihood.
Hi, my name's Joe Vasallo, and I've worked with Mary Vail for about 18 years. I truly can say I know no one, and I mean no one, who puts as much effort into the things that they do that Mary does. She's been fantastic for me and my company. And she has been totally responsible for some of the real good feelings that I have, because she's actually introduced me out into the community and to help a lot of other people in our community here in Las Vegas that really need some help. If she's going to do work for you, you have to be able to give something back to the community. It doesn't have to be money. It could be in any form that you can afford to give. So she's really amazing, about that. And, you'll always get more back from Mary than you'll ever give anyway. So she's just tremendous.
Being able to just give something little can actually turn into something major. And that's kind of what I do with my food drive that I put on. We hold it at Smith's Foods, and we just ask shoppers when they come in if they can pick up 1 extra can of food. That's all we're asking them. But as they go through the store, they start thinking about that 1 can of food, and they always come back with more than 1. Some of them bring carts full of food, bags full of food, ask them to get their kids involved.
Do you feel this is something everyone can participate in, meaning helping our community here in Las Vegas?
Definitely. I think everybody has an opportunity to get involved with their community, and that's what I like to do, is help people find their way to that path.
You made a big contribution in terms of your time and expertise to the Salvation Army. I mean, they raised almost $500,000, which is a very large number. I mean, which will have a big impact on thousands of people here in Las Vegas. So that's one example you mentioned.
The biggest project that I've been involved with is the food drive, and that is the Make a Difference Day food drive. And Make a Difference Day is the National Day of Doing Good. I learned about this project when I had first moved into Las Vegas. Smith's Food and Drug said, you know what, we've never done this before, but we'd like to work with you on the project, and let's do it. So number one, we don't intimidate our shoppers, but so that we can get the most value out of you being there. And they've been my partner.
It's amazing how you've been able to put people together, to achieve a specific goal. It's a lot of collaboration involved,
It's definitely a lot of collaboration, and the TV stations here have been very, very supportive of it. And, they like to get involved too. They want to be involved in the community. And it's a lot of good-hearted people.
To know Mary is to volunteer with Mary. Mary has such a big heart. She wants to help everyone. She wants to give back. She wants to make the community a better place for everyone to live. And you can't help but do that with her. She'll call you up and say, hey, I've got this event. We're collecting food for the homeless, or we're teaching kids about water safety. Come on, help us, join us. And you can't help but to open your heart as well. And Mary's just such a great example. She really does bring out the best in people while she's trying to help the less fortunate.
You are now in the middle, of an MBA, which you are completing, and at the same time you're running a business which you're doing very successfully. You're helping the community of Las Vegas, and in addition to that, you're also writing amazing books about design and photography, which is also a great passion for you. How do you find the energy to do all this great work?
You know, my dad had a lot of energy. He had a lot of energy, and you know, both my parents, I mean, how do you raise 7 children? I think that was just, I was the second to the oldest, so it was just part of our lifestyle. There was always activities going on, whether it was helping to take care of other siblings or doing, you know, helping my dad out with his projects. I was just always involved, and that energy level has just stayed there. I couldn't do any of this if I didn't have the support of my husband and the support of my kids, because they're involved in all of these activities with me at some level.
Do you feel that you can stop doing what you do now in regards to helping the community of Las Vegas?
I would never be able to do that. I see this continuing on through my, you know, through my whole entire life at whatever age, you know, I am, and if I, you know, have, you know, God willing, strength and, you know, mental mindset, that I would be able to continue this forever. So I'm going to tell you a great story. A family friend of ours, her father was in his 90s, and he had a very, very sharp mind, and he kept doing activities that were probably, you know, could be dangerous to him. So we thought of an activity that could keep him busy, and he was a seamster from when he was a child, and we, their family friends, worked with an interior design company, and they had, you know how you have all the samples of fabrics? As the fabrics became outdated, they would donate them. We gave them to this gentleman, Phil, and he ended up making little purses, bags, blankets, hundreds and hundreds, but it kept him active and kept his mind going, and he would hand make these, and we would give them to the homeless kids, and we gave them to foster kids, so that the foster children would have something at Christmas time. And we ended up making name tags. My daughter made some name tags and tied bows on them and said that this was made especially for you by Phil Whelan, who's 90 years old. And when the individuals received those gifts, they were so touched and thought, wow, somebody cared about me and handmade this for me. And so if he can do it when he's 90, I hope to, if I, you know, get to that age, that I can do that as well. But it gets a little emotional thinking about it. I'm sorry. It's that type of emotion for me.
But that's also reflected in everything you have done in your life. It is your big heart.
It's very exciting to think that that all I have to do is stimulate one thought, and it projects into something big, and people get involved.
How would you describe the legacy that you want to leave behind?
A legacy that people knew that I was here to help people.
I want to thank you on behalf of everyone for the amazing work that you have done.
It's a great city and a lot of great people, and to see people struggle when there are others who can help out is, I guess, what I try to go after and see if there's a way that we can help them. If we can help find solutions for their missteps in life. You know, most of the time it's because of causes that are beyond their control. And if we can do something to help them, then, you know, why not?
On behalf of Mayor Goodman, myself, and the entire City Council, I want to present a key to the City of Las Vegas.
All right.
Because she can open up any door in the City of Las Vegas to make this great.
I love that.
And in addition, I'd like to give her a certificate of appreciation signed by the mayor, myself, and the entire City of Las Vegas for everything Mary has done for this community. So there you go, Mary. There you go.
I would never ask anybody to do something if I wasn't willing to do it. I think that's what's exciting, is that people are definitely willing to give.
Thank you for joining us. If you are a local hero or you know someone who is, please contact us. See you next week.